Hello, I'm Micker410 and welcome to my channel where I focus on 3-inch revolvers and firearms chambered in the 410 bore shot shell. Let's check out today's video.
Thanks for tuning in to today's video, everybody. I make that mistake every time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. In today's video, we're going to shoot 2 revolvers that are new to the channel and 5 different ammunitions that are not new to the channel. As you can see, it's snowing, but hey, you don't always get to shoot in perfect weather. So today, we're going to have some snow in the footage. No way around it. I can't stop shooting. I'm not going to let the weather slow me down. Anyway, what we have in today's video is a Chiappa Matchmaster in 38 special only with a 6-inch barrel. And next to him, equally special and impressive and new and exciting and fun, is an H&R 504 revolver with a 6-inch barrel chambered in 32 H&R Magnum. Now this is one of the very first revolvers chambered in the 32 H&R Magnum caliber. H&R is the company that made that caliber, and they went out of business shortly after. So this revolver is probably from somewhere between like 1983 and 1986. I'm not entirely sure. It's only a 5-shooter because it was just based on their little pocket pistols that were all 5 shooters, which is a little bit unusual for a 32 H&R. Normally they're 6 or 7 shooters. Anyway, so that doesn't bother us because we're just using it to get some ballistics information from a 6-inch barrel and from the original OG 6-inch barrel. And then we're going to compare that to the Chiappa Matchmaster, which is just as fun in a variety of other ways. You know, the Chiappa shoots from the bottom instead of the top. And I'm not really used to that, so that'll be interesting. This is kind of the first time I've shot this revolver, really. And this is definitely the first time I've shot this revolver. So what we're going to be shooting out of them, man, the snow, is some Fiocchi Heritage 97 grain full metal jacket, 940 at on box measured 949 feet per second. This is pretty much the hottest 32 Smith & Wesson long ammo that I've ever been able to find, and you see it pop up in some of these videos. We have our Federal 95 grain lead semi wad cutter on box. It says 1020. This is also pretty common on this channel. It's relatively easy to get 32 H&R Magnum and is some of the closest things you can get to target loads. We have our 32 H&R Magnum critical defense from Hornady, which is 80 grain, and it says 1150 at muzzle. We have our PPU 38 special 130 grain full metal jackets, and our 38 H&R 110 grain I'm sorry, not H&R, Hornady critical defense 38 special 110 grain measured at 1010 feet per second at the barrel. So we're going to see how well all of those perform in winter conditions, as you can see from the snow that's building up on everything. We're going to get FPS testing, we're going to get gel testing, and we're going to get clay testing. I'm going to shoot these in reverse order. Normally I do FPS, then gel, then clay, but because of the weather today I'm going to do clay, gel, and then FPS. That's not going to be visible in the video. I'll keep it in the same order as I normally do. I just wanted you guys to know that. I'm minimizing the amount of time that these things are outside in this weather. They've all been kept at about 43 degrees before I brought them out here, and we've been out here for about 10 minutes. All right, so I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer on the firearms, and then I'll start shooting. All right? Give me just a moment. Okay, so here we have our H&R 504 and 32 H&R Magnum. This guy will shoot the 32 Smith & Wesson long and 32 H&R loads today. And then over here, we have the Chiappa Matchmaster in 38 special, and it's going to shoot our 38 special loads today. I didn't take any of them out of the boxes. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll try to get them on camera as I load them up. All right, everybody. This is my favorite part of the video, when we collect the FPS values here.
So, first we're starting off with our Heritage 97 grain full metal jacket, 32 Smith & Wesson longs. Let's see how well we do here. 791.9. 837.6. And 869.8. Not too bad. That's pretty good for Smith & Wesson long, 97 grains. I'm not upset about that, although it did take a 6-inch barrel to get those. We'll compare all that data later. Sorry guys, I'm getting all ahead of myself because of the snow. The average is 833.1. Not a terrible average. I didn't say it earlier, or I didn't say it clearly, but this H&R 504 6-inch barrel revolver weighs 33.44 ounces, which means that with 32 H&R Magnum, it's incredibly comfortable. Feels like shooting .22 long rifle. It's great. Now let's see what kind of values we get with the Federal 95 grain lead semi-wad cutter. $1,009.5, very nice. 996.4 and 966.0 for an average of 990.6. That's pretty good. The advertised velocity was 1020 on that, so I'm not upset. That's off by 30. And again, I mean, who knows? A 6-inch barrel, you're not going to be shooting 32 H&R Magnum out of a 6-inch barrel 99% of the time. This guy here is quite the unusual oddity for it. Now we've got the Hornady Critical Defense in here, and this guy is $11.50 on the box is what they say we should get. I'd be happy if we got somewhere around $1,100 because it's only 80 grains. And since it's a FTX slug, it's essentially a hollow point, and we want to go faster for expansion. All right? So we're going to see how this does. $10.60, again, very mild. $11.66, wow, still very mild. 100 extra feet per second, didn't feel any different. And 1136.8, that's really great. Our average there is 1121.1, and I like seeing that we're so close to the listed values on the box. You know, if we're going to do a 6-inch barrel, I want to get as close to maximum performance as possible. All right, so 1121. So we've moved on to the Chiappa Matchmaster, which, in case I didn't say it earlier, weighs 46.74 ounces, thus making it a very heavy revolver compared to what we normally shoot on this channel, about double the weight. And we are shooting the PPU 130 grains with no listed velocity on the box. So let's see what we get out of this. And we're at about 22 yards from the target. 889.4, very mild. 863.7, again, very mild, very gentle recoil. And 855.0 for an average of 869.4. But again, it's a 130 grain bullet, which is significantly heavier than the 95 and 80 grain 32 H&R Magnums that we were firing. So I'm imagining that the 32 Smith or the 38 Special will still have higher foot-pounds of energy, even though it's going so much slower. All right, that was very mild, very gentle. We're going to switch over to the Hornady Critical Defense. And I just wanted to say real fast that I know no one makes it. No one makes a big, heavy 32 H&R Magnum revolver, but it's so gentle and comfortable to shoot that 6-inch barrel revolver, that 33-ounce revolver, that if someone made 8, 9, 10-round capacity 32 H&R revolver on a large frame intended to be kept by your bed at home, that would be a fantastic firearm. That would get you good capacity, good power, and very mild recoil. So I hope that someday somebody out there will do that. We've got the Hornady Critical Defense 110 grain 38 special loads loaded up with the FTX slugs. They're rated for 1,010 feet per second on the box. Let's see if this 6-inch barrel gets us even close to that. And again, everything might be a little bit lower today because it's a cold day, as you can tell from all the snow. $949.2. 983.7 and 976.6 for an average of 969.8. Very close to what's listed on the box. Disappointing in the sense that with a 6-inch barrel for self-defense loads, I would hope to get higher than listed on the box because this is a gun that's bigger than what most people would carry in pocket, which is what I kind of consider most revolvers used in defensive situations is for. But, you know, that's just me. That's just my opinion. And all in all, 110 grains going at 969.8 is probably going to do some serious damage to anything it hits, which I don't think was the target. I think I missed all 3 shots with this, and that's because, A, the sights are very interesting in here. I don't have them set up for my range, and I am not used to shooting from the bottom of the barrel. This Matchmaster is a very smooth and fantastic revolver to hold and handle, but I feel like there's a little bit of a learning curve on it that I'm going to have to get used to. All right, guys, the rest of the video is going to be inside where we look at the Ballistics Gel and the clay deformation, and we talk about anything else from there. It's snowing a little bit too much for me to continue out here. Thanks for tuning in. I had a fantastic time filming for you guys, and I love seeing you on the channel, and I hope you have a great time. Bye. Okay, everybody, now because the Chiappa Rhino shoots from the bottom, I'm going to do the 38 Special full metal jacket right there, 38 Special, Hornady Critical Defense there, and then down here we'll do the 32 H&R semi-lead wad cutter and the 32 H&R Hornady Critical Defense there. Just because I'm a little bit more used to the standard revolver than I am this Chiappa. All right, that seemed to work out pretty good. Okay, I'm not upset about that. I'll get better at aiming this guy later when it's not quite snowing so much. But it looks like we got both in the block, which is what we're looking for. And now our 32 H&R Magnums. And I can honestly tell you, these 32 H&R Magnums are no recoil at all out of this revolver.
Hey everybody, here is our Ballistics Gel results for our 6-inch barrel, 38 Special, and 32 H&R Magnum testing. Okay, so we've got some interesting results here. Our 38 Special Hornady Critical Defense penetrated just under 12 inches. Our Hornady Critical Defense 32 H&R Magnum also penetrated between 11 and 12 inches. So those results were very similar between the two of them. And then what was really interesting, and then what was really interesting was our 38 Special Full Metal Jacket. Did just about 19 inches. That's neat, right? Full Metal Jacket, 19 inches, more than a brick of Ballistics Gel. But our our 32 H&R Magnum lead semi-wad cutter made it all the way over here at a little bit more than 24 inches. So, I mean, we know that solid projectiles penetrate further. I was just expecting the 38 Special to be a little bit closer to the the 38 Special Full Metal Jacket to be a little bit closer to the 32 H&R lead semi-wad cutter. So, the lead semi-wad cutter came in here, went all the way across, popped bricks, and this is it right here. Turned around. No, not turned around. And then the Full Metal Jacket did turn around. That's the 38 Special. And its path is better seen from above. Okay, and again, this is our 38 Special Critical Defense. I'm going to pop that guy out so we can see how much he expanded. And then down here is our 32 H&R Magnum Hornady Critical Defense. And I'll pop him out so we can see how much he expanded. All right, just a moment, guys. I'll get these out and we can take a look at them. And here we have our 38 Special Full Metal Jacket, 38 Special Hornady Critical Defense, which we can see has expanded nicely, mushroomed out very well. Our 32 H&R Magnum, which also expanded nicely, has a great mushroom on it. And our 32 H&R Magnum semi-wad cutter from Federal. All four of these have performed beautifully. These both got between 11 and 12 inches of penetration. This guy got 19, and this guy got about 24, 25 inches. So, fantastic performance all around, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit better penetration out of those two, just to get it close to the 13 or 14 inches of penetration, with still that full expansion to get them to be just about perfect. Okay, folks, we're not terribly far from our targets here. We're going to aim the 32 H&R Federal Magnum, 32 H&R Magnum lead semi-wad cutter there, and the 32 H&R Hornady Critical Defense there, our 38 Special PPU Full Metal Jacket, and our 38 Special Critical Defense Critical Defense 110 grains there. All right. Sorry, I'm getting so distracted by the snow, folks. Wasn't supposed to snow for another hour. All right. Let's see here. Not too bad, very smooth, very mild. Out of the H&R 504. Nice. Very pleased with that. And now, let's try out our 38 Special out of the Chiappa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. You have to excuse me. I forgot that the Chiappa shoots out of the bottom, and so I was lining up the cylinders with a barrel that doesn't exist on the top. Let's try this again. There we go. And our Hornady Critical Defense.